Have any of y'all seen the new Witches reboot? No? Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Klepcx FM. I am here to talk about none other than the Witches 2020 remake, or reboot, we should say. Exclusively for HBO Max if you guys have not checked it out. I'm going to be talking about what I thought was cool, what I didn't like. I'm going to break it down for you guys, for those of you who aren't familiar with the story. It's based on a novel written by from 1983. Then it was adapted in 1990 as a movie starring Anjelica Huston. And then, for those who don't know Anjelica Huston, she plays Morticia, the mother in the Addams Family, the original one that came out back in the day. But now it's being reborn again, rebooted, remade, and it's exclusively on HBO Max. And the cast is phenomenal. I mean, you would think after you see the likes of Octavia Spencer, Anne Hathaway, Stanley Tucci, even Chris Rock makes a voice appearance as the narrator of the story. It has all the right elements. It's magical. It's very family oriented. So let's break it down. For those who don't know, the story is about a young man who tragically loses his parents. He ends up moving in with his grandmother. They're a little rocky in the beginning, but she works him and she works him until she builds a trust with him, and they have a really cool bond. And along the way, the young man he witnesses some really strange, odd, scary, creepy lady in a grocery store who tries to kind of summon him or try to lure him into her, into her magic or whatever. And he's instantly snaps out of it. He hesitates a little bit to tell his grandmother what happened, but he's freaked out. When he does finally bring to tell her, she gives him this whole spiel, this whole backstory about how witches are real and witches exist. It's freaking cool, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this was my childhood. The original in 1990, like, I loved it. Growing up, I always ran back to it. It was always a classic that I like to enjoy. For those of you who know, who don't know, it deals with a lot of magic and people or children being changed into mice, and it's cool, man. Like, what I thought about the film was, I mean, it's rebooted, so it's more or less along the lines of the time. So a lot of the character races have changed. The main character is no longer the white kid with the glasses, the little geeky kid that was in the original. Now he's a young black kid. Very resembles Chris Rock, because Chris Rock is the narrator who is telling the story as an older version of the kid. And if you see the kid, he does resemble Chris Rock a lot, which was pretty cool. His name is Jazier Bruno. I've never seen him in anything else. But he does a phenomenal job. Octavia Spencer and him, they have great chemistry on screen. And the story pretty much follows this more of the original movie, but the ending is closer to the book, the original book. Back in the day, a lot of fans and a lot of people didn't like the original movie in the 90s because they felt as though that they changed. Well, not that they felt as though, but they definitely changed the ending of the book in the movie, and it wasn't received well. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed the ending in the reboot better, because not that it's a sad or a happier ending. It just gives you hope for more story. And that's without me spoiling. So, like, if you can understand what I'm saying, it just gives you hope for more story. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had like a little childish like reaction. Like, I was kind of excited to, like, yeah, like I could watch another one of these. There should have been more of these if this is how it always was. Because I never read the book, never been big on reading. But the original ending in the original film was always like, just a cop out, magical ending and whatever. You happy ending, you go your way. But this one, it definitely makes you kind of root for more shenanigans from these kids, and in the state that they're in, and what could happen next, and who they could bump into and take down in the next story, if there will be a next story. Hopefully, I'm kind of rooting that there will, because sometimes some stories are better when they're finished, if that makes any sense. Like, a lot of times you'll get a movie and you'll walk out of there like, you know what, it kind of left me wanting more, it wasn't horrible, it wasn't good, but it left me wanting more. So I might need that sequel to kind of be like, yeah, I got my fix. This is what I wanted, and I'm good. Overall, Anne Hathaway, she plays the head witch in the original Angelica Houston. Big shoes to fill. She does creepy very well. This movie is highly driven on CGI. Not bad CGI, but just a lot of CGI, and it is noticeable. The original was more practical, a lot of face makeup, a lot of prosthetics. So it was a little more realistic and a little more creepier then. But now you're dealing with, the times have changed. Now it's a lot cheaper for them to just go in and just, a lot less time consuming as well. To make these characters up. So the prosthetics versus the CGI, I didn't see a difference in the creepy factor. It still plays well. It also plays well for the mice, the children being changed into mice, that kind of thing. It looks a lot cooler. I mean, listen, these movies are for kids. They're not for grown-ups or adults who can rationalize what's really going on and break things down and say, hey, that looks fake, that's not real. You know what I mean? This is for kids to use their imagination. So as far as that, I didn't really find a problem with it, but there is a big difference versus the practicality versus the CGI. So you're going to see a lot of that. Let me think. Octavia Spencer does a great job playing the grandmother in this movie. And what's so funny is like the character names in this, like they're very like, I don't know if this was like a thing back then where you really didn't even have to really focus on the name of a character. It's almost like a children's book where you just open a book up and you just kind of read literal names. Like the boy, his name is Hero Boy. That's, if you look up the character's name, it's Hero Boy. Octavia Spencer grandma is Grandma. It's pretty funny. But yeah, she does a great job. Like I'm not gonna lie, she's been a hit or miss for me. Like I didn't like her in Ma. Like I thought Ma was it meant well, but it just played silly. I felt like there were a lot of things going on in that movie where it was kind of hard to get lost in the horror or the terror of it. A lot of unrealistic stuff, but other than that, it was pretty cool. But this one here, I like her in the little family film, family setting. It's lovable. It's heartwarming. They did change a little bit with her character from the original film. Actually, a lot, because there was a scene in the original film where the grandmother's pretty much comatose for most of the third act, and the whole premise is to try to snap grandma out of the spell or something like that. But in this one, no, we get Octavia Spencer from beginning to end. There's a lot of stakes. She has her story, her journey, I should say, and it works well. But Stanley Tucci, he's in this small role for him. They could have gotten anyone to do this, but it was cool that they got him. Wasn't really necessary or a hit or a miss. He just does what he does best, and that's entertain. So shout out to Stanley Tucci, because it was a very, very cool cameo. Well, I wouldn't say cameo. I mean, he's in it quite a bit, but if you blink, you'd probably miss his character. It's not necessary. Overall, I think the movie plays well for family. Please, I mean, if you're the type to grab the kids, grab the wife, grab the husband, sit down and do a family movie every week, this is definitely one of those movies that you guys should check out. I enjoyed it thoroughly. The ending is very heartwarming, and it seals the deal. It definitely delivers, and hopefully, I would say, and children from 6 to 12, will probably enjoy this thoroughly. I mean, even adults. I mean, I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Anyone that's still got an imagination left in their head and heart should enjoy this. But overall, I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie, I'm gonna say 3.5 stars, watchable and beyond for me. Check it out, man. The Witches 2020. Nothing else needs to be said. Hope you guys give it a shot and hope you enjoy it. And if you didn't, come back, tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's it. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. And for more news, television, and all that good stuff, check out wearecritics.com. and talk to you guys soon. Peace.